Right on, right on. Hello, Syracuse and the world. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Dr. Funk live show. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, for donating, for checking us out on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Apple Music, and all other great streaming services. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. What up, James? Hopefully everyone else is doing well. Just checking out this Right On magazine that I took out of the plastic. That was $1.95 back in 1986. I'm going to share with you guys. What's going on, Brian? What's up going on, Jay? What's going on, Judy? You guys can put like where you're from. I know Florida in the house. But yes, it's so interesting reading these things. And today we're going to be talking about the 777 show and some other things. What's going on, Kona? And Oshan, I believe, is just a person labeled as Facebook user. What's going on, Gene? So check this out. Right On magazine. It has a thing in the letters. So if you thought some people didn't know what the heck they were talking about on Twitter or social media, NYC in the house. I'm just going to call you NYC just in case I'm messing up your name, because I got it from my grandmother where I mispronounced stuff. She would call Nintendo Nintuendo, and Graffiti Bridge was graffiti. So that lets you know. So check this out from Right On magazine, this hot take before we get into anything. And hopefully we're not messing up Marcus's show at Paisley. The reason that we're doing the show on this date is just because the 4th of July holiday kind of messed stuff up and other people have taken the week off. But thanks. And the glasses are not prescription. They're just for show. I usually tell people, yeah, they're prescription, but they're not. So check out this hot take from Right On magazine. Back in September of '86. Like I said, if you thought sometimes you read some of this stuff on social media, or if you still visit the org, check out this hot take from September '86 called Prince and Wendy. And it's from a fan. I would like to get a few things off my chest about Prince's alleged marriage to Susanna Melvoin. In my opinion, it is Wendy, not Susanna, he's marrying. From the things I've read about Prince, I have come to this conclusion. First of all, I read that Wendy has Prince's Academy Award. Why would he give the highest and most honorable award in Hollywood to his guitarist? Also, from the incident in LA when the photographer was trying to get in his car, in an interview, Prince said he was with his woman. A couple of weeks later, I saw that was Wendy. If he's going to marry Susanna, then why did he say that he was in the car with his woman, who turned out to be Wendy? But the thing that really made me come to my conclusion spelled incorrectly, I don't know if that's the reader or Right On, was when I bought the single Kiss. The cover had a picture of Prince and a picture of Wendy on the other side. Also, Wendy is the only member from the Revolution featured in the Kiss video, and Prince even sings a little bit to her. I would like to know why she is the only one in the video and on the singles cover. You tell me. From my evaluation, it seems apparent that Prince's heart really belongs to Wendy. Editor's note. Prince still says he's free, single, and not marrying anyone. All right, then. And then that was from Lisa H. And then Karen Stewart just says, I'm writing this because I felt Right On pays too much attention to Michael Jackson, Prince, New Edition, etc., etc., y'all. I feel they should give credit where credit is due. Of course, I love Prince, New Edition, etc., but Philip Michael Thomas is a very good actor, and he has proved that to me and a lot of others on the May 9th episode of Miami Vice. All right, then. We'll leave it at that. But I just found that very interesting. So the person thought that Prince was marrying Wendy because she was in the Kiss video and on the cover. So very, very interesting is all I can say. September '86 before puberty. Hey now. some people in this room maybe before they were in the womb. What's going on, Portia? Hope you're having a good time over there. But it's just crazy that even back then you were getting people that are getting stuff wrong, but at least you had an editor's note that says that, and it doesn't go where it's 5 to 10 to 15 people saying, oh yeah, it's all this. We'll get to Liv Morgan another time. But yes, so that's just what's interesting about those things and how rumors get started, or there's fact. There was someone able to shut it down and you didn't have social media out of control. I always thought it was good to have someone that shoots down rumors. And that's what I would do with stuff. And it'd just be like, that's it, move on. Or I'd contact a moderator from the org and have them lock the thread or whatnot. She had to send that comment with an envelope and stamp instead of pressing send. See, back then, like, you had to like really do the work in order to share your opinion. You had to like write it, you know, either wait a day or take it to the post office or drop it in your mailbox. Now this time, sometimes you send stuff a little bit too quick. The only reason I try to tweet, I'll delete. And that's something that I brought up to Julia in 2012 when they were doing the Welcome to Australia tour before I even had an account. Was just so they can announce after shows or do other stuff and then delete it. But sometimes it's like I do it to clear something up. It's done. The person knows about it. And I delete the tweet because I kind of like would want to like to start all over and have the tweets be a little bit shorter. But those are the things that goes on. I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's a frustrating time here everywhere. UK is going through some changes. US is going through some trouble. This show is live. I'm not reading for a teleprompter. I'm not Ron Burgundy, but we all make mistakes. And I just want to let you know I appreciate you guys, and I want to let it be known that your voice is always heard, and hopefully in the future it'll be heard even more as changes happen. So that's what it comes down to. Thank you. I try to always look my best. I was watching old Spreecast shows, and I do have a couple that we will be uploading and possibly doing live shows, but got to remember how people, I think, sometimes don't think that I'm an introvert. The first year of doing those shows, I did them with sunglasses on because I was so nervous to be on camera, and, you know, was just letting Seth know who to bring on camera and then giving him information because I'd be getting text from Paisley Park and other people while the show was going on. And Prince really liked that I was paying attention to your guys' comments. Now, keep in mind, we were doing that 9 years ago before video format and these shows were like a thing. It's so funny because I'm watching like an old episode and we have Adrian and Marcus on, Adrian Crutchfield, Marcus Anderson, and they were having issues with their microphone or other stuff. It felt like one of the clubhouses where you got the older dudes on and they don't know to touch the mic or do whatever, or they're talking over each other. It was just interesting. That's because we were youngins then and the technology was new instead of being older and the technology is out there and you're just not done to it. I appreciate you guys. So thank you. Bringing the beard back for a little bit, even though it's summer and I do usually like it thinner. Thank you, Dwayne, for that. There's still work to be done. You know, been around for a bit, but it's about what you're doing now. I did the work then, doing the work now, and I want to do it in the future. So, and hopefully we'll have a really good team around. I'm being hopeful. I'm speaking positive because I want to speak it into existence. I want to make sure that you guys are heard. And that's super important. There's a good article done by Soul Bounce. You guys should check out Londell McMillan talking about the future and other things. Props to Tanya for the article. I want to make sure I get the name correct, Tanya Pendleton. Because I'm telling you, just like I used to call Ida, there's just certain stuff that I would mess up on that, I inherited from my grandmother. Out of all the things to inherit, it had to be that. But I appreciate you guys too. But I want to let it be known that you guys are heard. And Prince appreciated that in 2013 through 2016. We were doing the show when Spreecast went belly up. We were trying to, meaning when I say we, it was I just don't like this I thing. But we were trying to find a new format when Spreecast went under. The thing is that YouTube at the time, you'd be able to have people do videos and you'd have like two people share a screen, but each time someone was talking, the screen would switch to someone else. The technology just wasn't good. And that's why we went back to audio until COVID, to where technology caught up with what I was trying to do. So, and this isn't me doing it. The person goes by Jay as well. Thank you for being the voice of the true fans to the estate. Man, I don't know if you saw the other week, they weren't too happy about that. Like, look, I'll give the estate props when it comes to it. We've had a lot of music releases. We're just insatiable. But there's just certain things that can be done correctly is all. Like here it was, Gold Experience for Record Store Day. We're all lining up in line, afraid we're not going to get it, knowing that it was madness for the last Record Store Day and how popular it is and people flipping the disc. And then the print store is like selling a couple days later. We're like, we got it. And then to find out that their copies were numbered and it said nothing about that. And it may have been the first 500, and now they're taking pre-orders, but are these ones going to be numbered as well? We just don't know it. And people are saying music today is saying they're going to be numbered. Like, I haven't gotten along with music today. I think like my account is flagged because almost every single order is wrong or late, missing stuff, and then have to contact America lawyers. Like, can you help me out? And they're probably like, we saw your tweet. We ain't helping you out. But I appreciate their assistance with stuff. It's all love. But there's people that knew him and understood him, that were doing stuff. And it was a different thing, especially that was around for a while. So, hopefully in the future, I don't know about a peer-to-peer thing, but hopefully there can be different distributors in different countries, so the tax isn't so much for you guys, especially like say with Musicology and 3121, when those albums were getting put back in print by Sony and even Planet Earth. Those were being printed in the EU. And then they were being shipped back here to the US after they were printed, pressed, all the other things. And then the people that were ordering overseas, you're having it back there, and then you're getting an extra charge or fee that you guys have to pay. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you'd have that stuff. So did the gold vinyl release have some with the sticker on the back or some that didn't? I believe all had the sticker in the back. If I'm incorrect, guys, let me know about that. But I think they all had the sticker unless there was a mistake. I know there was some reported that they had two disc 1s, 2 disc 2s or whatnot. But let me know about that. And if you guys are watching this show later, you can always respond back to Brandon. Sometimes I feel with the YouTube comments, when we're doing the live show, there's a bunch. And then when it's put back for you guys to watch the replay, all the comments are gone. If you guys know why that is and how you can get those comments back so people that watch the YouTube version of it can see all the comments, because we'll have like 100 to 200 and then the playback, there's nothing. So sometimes people are asking the same questions during the show that were already answered. So yours didn't. Wow, so yours didn't have a sticker. All right. You know what they call that now, Brandon, right? They call that a collector's item. Just like when they get the date wrong of his birthday. That's a collector's item now. So you got a collector's item. There you go. So Doc, love the neck gear. Open, short collar look on 99. Thank you. I try. Let's see. Like, hold on. So you have that, but sometimes you need a higher chair. I do have things that elevate it, but maybe you guys didn't see that. But there you go. And every time I'm looking at the camera, you see that I start doing my damn blue steel. I got to cut that out. Prince have purple steel, we call it. But yes, try to always be on point. Like that's what I was saying. When I was watching the old videos, I was a lot heavier and not comfortable. And, you know, Prince had me interview people outside Paisley. And see, I'm doing that still. When I think about how nervous I am, I'm putting my hands to my face, which I shouldn't be doing. And then when I was interviewing people outside of Paisley, I'm interviewing them like this. So I didn't have any media training. I'm so much better than what I was 9 years ago. But I need to get more comfortable on screen. And Prince believed in me. He wanted me to have the show on Access TV, to do stuff with Sirius. I know he talked with Rashida about doing stuff with Sirius, so I'm not the only one. And I was in contact with Access TV of trying to do stuff to where they would be at Paisley for 3 straight months. Anthony Malzone, who did stuff for Lotus Flower and MPLS Sound, I believe was a program director or a higher up at Access, and we did have meetings, and we're trying to make it happen. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but those are things like we were trying to do an MPG TV where every Friday and Saturday night, you're going to be at Paisley for about 3 months and doing shows, and then there'd be stuff from the vault that could be shown, skits that Marcus and Adrian, oh my God, why am I forgetting the other person? Now I gotta have him back on my show because I'm forgetting the MPG horns, the third player that'll be on it, and I'm so embarrassed right now. But yeah, there would be skits and then other stuff that could have been done from Madhouse days and all these other things and just rare videos. So we were trying to do these things. I don't know how aware you guys were happening. We even had like a portfolio and a production to show Prince. Like Anthony had like some male singers on there. I'm like, dude, you got to take Robin Thicke out, put Esperanza Spalding, do these other things because you're presenting it to Prince and his team. You don't want Timberlake in there. You don't want Robin Thicke. No disrespect to those guys, but it's a selling point for Prince, you know? So could have checked out the copies at the store, but didn't. We all try to hide our stomachs for sure. I need to do more sit-ups or more other stuff, but I feel better. I've been in a long time. I want to be more athletic, just been having stuff going on. And then the celebration and the recovery of that, BK, not someone's put BJ Jackson, but BK Jackson. I mean, I'm going to have BK on, but all 3 of them will be doing skits, just as pimps, doing other stuff. So yes. But I always wanted to do camera again, even though I was so uncomfortable with it the first time around. And now I feel that I'm a lot better. I feel that you guys make me better. And the thing that sucks about the Spreecast is like, say, you know, like this comment. The old Spreecast, we put these comments on the screen. You guys can't see that now. So when I upload the videos, the chat that we would have, and that would have sometimes up to 1,000 people in it. And we bring other fans on and do other stuff because it was so much easier. We'd be like, hey, if you guys want to be on camera, like send us a request. You still can't do that here. It's like if I put a link right here, right now, all it does is it sends it to everyone, and then you all will put requests, and I have like no idea who it is. But yes, the main thing is what was provided. So there is 2 full shows. I've edited some stuff. I think with the other ones, I'm going to make clips and put the interviews that we had online and make it short consumption just so you guys have that stuff. And then when information would be dropped. But again, you're looking at my co-host, when he talked, there would be a 15-second delay. when we had Third Eye Girl on live on the show, so Seth would be live. I'd have a 15-second delay, and Third Eye Girl, because of the Paisley thing not really being happy with internet, it was like a 45-second delay. When we tested earlier with Joshua Welton, and there's no footage of that, but I was testing with Joshua, there's about a 90-second to 2-minute delay. So we got the 45 seconds, but I really would like to clean that up, because like they would hear stuff on the speaker system from the laptop or whatever they were using, and I'd be waiting for them to speak, or waiting for the 45 seconds to go by, and then because Seth only had probably a 30-second delay instead of their 45-second, he's talking before I can talk, and it's like then we're talking over each other. It makes it was something else. But yeah, glad that there's other stuff. And then when Prince is doing the live streams, sometimes he would schedule the live streams right after our show, or give me a heads up like, hey, Joshua would be texting me or emailing, hey, we're going live in 10 minutes, to give you guys a heads up. So that's how we would try to do stuff. Remember chatting to you back in 2007, 2008. That celebration, I couldn't say hi, so we all have issues. Why couldn't you say hi? I mean, I'll be honest, at Celebration this year, man, in the COVID era, it becomes a little bit overwhelming, and I get pumpkined out. But just understand that that's not me. I know more people have liquid courage at the W to talk to me and stuff like that. I'm just like you guys. And it's just like you guys say Funkenberry or Doc. I'm like, hey, I'm Jeremiah. What's your name? Nice to meet you. So 2007 overwhelmed. 2017, you mean when I was in a freaking wheelchair scooter because of a broken foot, and vowing that I'm going to lose weight, vowing that I'm going to look better because I feel like I'm representing Prince. So I have to do better. So appreciate all the Twitter updates you did back in the day. Hey, still doing that stuff now. I'd love to bring back the website, but websites ain't exactly cool, and then people just take the info or whatnot. I like to have websites that could come back and maybe switch the name of it. I call it the Dr. Funk Live Show and all these other things because that's what you guys know it by, but I'd like to be just known as Jeremiah. Go on to the third step, just like some of you guys knew as J7. So, that's what it comes down to. Left field alert. Is there a music video for the release track Vibrator? There must be. Guess we'll find out, right? That's another thing that we ride the estate on or whatever. But that Netflix deal, like I said, I can't wait hearing it comes out like summer next year in 2023. Can't wait for it to come out or for there to be changes, because there's so much unreleased visuals that you guys haven't seen that kind of mess stuff up. So there could be a video for Vibrator, and that could have been put on the set, but Netflix is like, no, we have exclusive rights, we're not doing it. Just like the proposed Diamonds and Pearls set, proposed Symbol set, you weren't going to get the Walk Don't Walk unreleased video or other stuff unless Netflix approves it. So that becomes problematic. And I don't want a Diamonds and Pearls set or a Symbol set or a combined set. I don't want that if you can't have the visuals and the different tours and stuff, not just one show. That's just me. Katrina's saying London 2007, you had us all on alert. Now remember, Funkenberry wasn't until 2008 or whatnot. So that was a J7. Like I said, been doing this for 20 years, may have had different names, 20 plus years. Jesus. I was a young kid. I couldn't grow a beard back then. But yeah, I mean, I always try to look out for you guys, even though I was based in LA. There would be so many people that I had on my email list and groups. Yeah, email list, if you guys remember things like that, to let you guys know with the 777 update. Then is J7 on the Housequake, why am I an old man? Housequake on Org, on the Music Club till they were shut down. And then you had MySpace and all these other things, then Facebook. You were so down to earth and approachable at celebration. Thank you, and thank you for taking a pic of the kindness. Thank you, Dawn. Like I said, people will have like preconceived notions of me, and I think sometimes it's because people want to expect bad of you, so when they hear bad things about you, like, oh yeah, that's right. But I don't. And it's my whole thing of being protective. I've had a lot of stuff happen to my life where I've been screwed over a bunch, super recently too, as well. So I'm just protective and I don't allow access to everyone. And sometimes people think that's you being arrogant or you thinking that you're better than people. That's not what it is. It's just about being shy and not feeling comfortable in certain situations. And, you know, when there was a comment made on Friday that we're all getting COVID, like we are not going to be able to escape it because we're all such in a close quarters. Like I would be going between the sound stage and the VIP area and going outside because I was trying to not be trying to like get around and not being like stay in a space for more than 5 to 6 minutes with people. And sometimes the same person that saw me 20 minutes ago would be trying to shake my hand again or trying to touch me. And I'm trying to do the fist bump because, you know, I felt like I was going to be a petri dish of germs and I was getting pumpkined out by Friday afternoon. So that's what it comes down to. But it isn't about being rude or being other stuff. It's just sometimes you feel comfortable and sometimes you don't. So when I dress nice, when I do stuff, that also makes me feel comfortable and whatnot. So it gives me more confidence. Why can't the estate get feedback from us on what we want to know is available? I mean, that's what I kind of did with you guys before. And I don't know. They may have chosen someone else to do that. I don't know. But I felt like without like a direction, you guys would get pissed off a lot and upset. And it wasn't being heard. It would be directed. It's like screaming into the ether. You're not being heard. And it's problematic. I do feel that they would think like, you know, on the Prince site where you guys are purchasing stuff, give them ideas for things that was them listening. It's obvious they pay attention to my stuff, just like with the Kate Bush thing that should have been done weeks ago. And there was a Kate Bush article talking about Prince. I'm like, I'm really surprised the Prince account hasn't mentioned Kate Bush and them working together and what huge admirers they were of each other's work. And then, as you guys saw, within 24 hours of me doing that, they did make a post about it. Then when I posted about 777, they didn't do their own posts, but it was a few hours after I did mine. First Avenue did one after I tagged them for 777. And then the Prince account just linked to it. They're not going to be giving me any love or showing it. Like that's what upset me about the Third Eye Girl stuff that we did it. And then they were just trying to say, oh, it was done on Fallon. I'm like, no, it wasn't. What's up to that? Since the Netflix documentary won't be out till next year, does that mean there won't be any releases from the estate till then? That's a long time. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's all I can say about that. That doesn't mean there won't be any releases. I mean, look, the Netflix documentary deal was signed, 2018? It's been 4 years now. It's a little bit too long, especially when Kanye gets 30 million for his camcorder footage when you have everything from the vault. But since then, you got the 1999 Super Deluxe. You've gotten so many projects since then. But it just makes it harder because you have to ask for permission on certain things, and they're not going to give clearance. There's so much stuff that we're not privy to. Like until that show at Paisley was shown from Glam Slam 92, that wasn't on Prince Vault. They're very up on it. The people that do the work there, not all of them want to get name checked. But there's so much stuff that we're not aware of that has been shot, has been recorded. What's up, David? David knows what I'm talking about. That's all I'll say about that. There's probably some videos that David made or some segments that haven't seen the light of day that he's part of. And then when some footage comes out, he's like, damn, I don't even remember that because I would be reporting on stuff every day. That's why, that's it. But when you were working for Prince, when you were in that spectrum, rehearsals, shows, recordings, it all becomes a blur and it makes it hard. So I was taking notes every day, posting online to different stuff. And there's just of that things. Yes, that's why people want me to write a book, but my work isn't done yet. And I feel until it makes the estate money, or the Prince Legacy LLC, because that's what's going to be called soon, I believe, until it makes them money, I just feel like I'm betraying in a way. That's me. So that's what it comes down to. Do they just not know? When you're saying that, what are you talking about? I know it's been brought up before, but how about subscription service? We talked about that before, and then having like us different podcasters have that be on the network, have it for you guys. That'd be cool. Because I don't believe everything is made for worldwide release. There'll be like one camera shows that Prince shot that I feel you guys would dig, that you guys should get. And, that one camera, there was something I was put up in the music club for Jam of the Year and people were upset about it, but there's some stuff that isn't made for huge consumption. I think you guys would really appreciate that and dig it for sure. So that's what it comes down to. And I think it's a good idea. I think MPG Music Club 2.0, there just has to be certain ways in how it has to be done. Because as we're seeing with the releases of the Gold Experience, re-releases, the Syracuse show, with other stuff, a lot of it is by sales. It's not getting to streaming. It's not getting to the younger generation. That's problematic. And there has to be a way to do it. Like, his music has been in TV shows over the years, but nothing like a Stranger Things and a Kate Bush song from, 30 years ago. There's so many tunes that could be chosen that people aren't aware of. Passing Your Name can be one of those things that's put in for some other stuff, but more public consumption. You can have Empty Room, Moonbeam Levels, Extra Lovable. There's so much stuff, and then other things that we aren't privy of, stuff that is unreleased, stuff that was released and didn't get a proper release or wasn't chosen as a single. There's just a lot of stuff that can do it. Is Syracuse considered this year's release? I'm not certain of that. I do know that there was other stuff scheduled, but there is changes going on. But I do feel that even the people that are going to be doing the changes, I do feel that they would like a release by the end of the year as well. There is going to have to be some patience done for it, but I do believe that there'll be a plethora of stuff released before the Netflix docuseries and then especially after. Don't expect the floodgates to be open the day after the Netflix docuseries goes in, because there is what's called a no-compete clause, to where a certain amount of time has to go by before they can make deals with different streaming services. We'll see what can be done. Do they not know what they were sitting on, et cetera? I just wonder sometimes that they're traveling through stuff that people already know is there and want out there. Good question. And I'll put that on the screen. Sorry about that. For the amount of the deal originally, I'm not sure if they're aware. I think they do. The problem is that you got to care more about everything, not just 84 to 87, where he had the machine behind him and was getting on Right On magazine, was on Rolling Stone covers. The 90s, 91, you had that happen. But there's so much more. You have to care about that stuff and dig deep. So there's a lot on there. And I think the way Prince looked in the early 90s, the beard, the look on that video, like he was a sexy MF, like those visuals are absolutely amazing. You need the visuals for us, for the younger generation to gain new fans, whether they're 50, whether they're 5, you need the visuals. You know, that TikTok isn't what you're going to hear music or hear stuff. You're watching it, right? Even if it's small clips. Many of the 90s era video footage needs to be packaged to us 100%. The Netflix deal is probably not going to happen. And I don't know how much they're going to do on it. I'm not part of it, so I'm just making assumptions with that. It's not fact. But, you know, this is 100% true. You know, that comment I just said, that the 90s era video footage. And then Revolution 86 on YouTube. As for us, live video, I like these releases. The Second Coming, 3121 movie, Piano Mike from Pazer, any of these shows from his final concert. We the fans want this 100%. Second Coming would be amazing. 3121 movie would make a really good video package. That's like, I sometimes tell people, if you say Graffiti Bridge is a video package instead of a movie, it goes over a little bit better. Just with a storyline, because 3121 is the same. Come Space, for all we know, there's different videos for Space than what was put out, and just generic stuff. Same with Pink Cashmere. And Brian says he was in Urban Outfitters with his daughter. Not one thing of Prince. Best way to introduce Prince to younger generations, put Prince in their face. They did have a Welcome to America long sleeve sweatshirt, because with the younger generation, hoodies are out as much as I like hoodies. But they did have that before. So that's what's going on. Wonder how much Syracuse has reached out to the Prince community. I love it, but I haven't heard a buzz from my music friends. It's really great sounding. They did the best that they can do with stuff. So he always was a sexy MF. I agree, but at that era, like, there were certain eras where Prince looked better. They did, and there's eras that we love, and those are those things. They should do interactive MPG MC mashup site. That'd be dope. Timeline immersive style. Yeah, I think in the future some of these things will happen, and you guys are going to be heard. The older fans are aware what got us into them. They need to ask us. I agree. Like, the main thing is like, when in 2017, 2018, when there was talks, they didn't like how much I talked about unreleased music on my show and the details and stuff. So I went, all right, I can stop talking about it. I don't know if they were trying to like get me under an NDA or get me to do the show, but, you know, to me, whatever's going to help the legacy, if this isn't doing it, we need to do these things. But, and then I was putting together a team, because there was some sort of discussion for like, who would you have in the vault who would do this? I reached out to an overseas fan, reached out to female fans here, reached out to older people. I had people that were associated artists, people that engineered for Prince later in his life. There was all part of a team, and we were talking. Of course, those things didn't come to fruition, but we wanted it, and we'll just see what's going on. But yeah, I was like, you know, I was told this stuff. I got like a really super expensive pair of headphones, was listening to a bunch of unreleased tracks that I had, nothing that was sent to me, unreleased concerts, because people would trip that without having to see it. Like, by instrumentation or by voice, I would know which year that, oh, that's 1982 Prince. Oh, that's 87. Oh, that's 2002. You just know it by different stuff and be doing that. But do I think the reason they won't release things that pay for website because more money is made for physical? I do believe that there will be deals in the future with streaming services. It won't always be physical. But that's the future. Right now, they're going to what they know, that the fans are older. They buy physical releases, especially bigger box sets that the younger generation doesn't. And that's problematic. So you got to get these things, got to open it up to more stuff. I'm like, look, you got to get lucky too. You got to get lucky. The whole Kate Bush Stranger Things, that's luck. The whole Fleetwood Mac and the Ocean Spray guy drinking the video, it's luck. There has to be luck on it and making the right decisions. I know the fans at Marvel are huge Prince fans. There was talk of the original Deadpool where it has Shoop. They wanted Sexy MF at first, but Prince was denying it. Deadpool 3, why can't we have that happen? Because now it's about the legacy and about trying to introduce them to bigger audiences, and movies and shows like Stranger Things are tremendously huge in that. Um, it's not going to be a new show with him. We may do like one after show or two. Got to check into stuff, but it's just getting the old Spreecast shows for you guys. And as I've been going through it, I watched about 10 hours of stuff this week, and I feel that 2 episodes are salvageable, and then the rest are just going to be clips, because again, you guys can't see the chat, you can't see comments, and you're just hearing me on the keyboard, hey Seth, ask this, and then talking with Paisley, being on my phone, because as well as Prince was producing, I'm producing as well. But Prince was heavily involved with that show. You guys just didn't know it, and that's why we were able to do the things that we were doing. What's concerning is when all the must releases are out, then what? How do we keep the machine running? See, that's what I'm saying is that there's going to be other stuff that you guys may not know what you want, instead of the ones that was mentioned before. There's just going to be some stuff like that. That Glam Slam show is awesome, and if it is in film as what's being suggested, it's going to be amazing. So there you go. And Ron says, I've been following Prince's career since '81. I've always heard that recorded and filmed in one way or another every show since his early days. That alone brings genius to generations for decades to come. And like I said, say '81, we only know about the Rich show and the Paris show. There may have been other stuff filmed. There may have been stuff that they were filming at the warehouse and just other places, other shows that we're not aware of. There's so much stuff that we think we know. Even Questlove said to me at the originals premiere, and I will never understand why the people that were involved with the original tracks were not invited to that. Just need to put that out there. But Quest told me is that he thought he had everything from '81 to '87, and they advised him, you probably have 20%. And I was just thinking to myself, why are they telling Quest this? But he was just amazed. He's like, I thought I had everything, and they're just saying, no, you probably got 20%. And there's just other stuff. They make more pounds, more money per hit if they did subscriptions, Spotify, Apple. We'll see how they're going to do stuff. I have full faith in the people that are going to be taking over. I hope to be involved, and I want to be involved. And we're going to try to do everything we can with that. And I think that we could have like a really great team of people together, and you're not having to worry about different fees and other things that take away from it. Is it true that Troy Carter isn't the advisor anymore? The court documents that came out last week, yes, that is true as of late last year. I haven't said anything publicly because I like for stuff to be public, because look, you have lawyers thinking that other lawyers or family members are giving you information. And as you guys know, like, I've been finding out stuff for decades. Like, I have a lot of connections, and regardless of who you have doing stuff, like, oh dude, there's an original set coming out, keep it on the down low. I would let them know about it privately, but I wouldn't let you guys know about it till the press release. But that's when you guys are like, how was he on top of it immediately? It's because I've been waiting for it and knowing when it was going to hit and do these different things. Can you imagine what Spike Lee could do for a Prince movie? We'll see what the future holds about reproductions or other things. I think in the future, I don't think it's going to be 30 years like the Queen one, but it won't be next year. But I do think a biopic is going to happen eventually. Not anytime soon. No one get upset at me. Flippers would be cool if that was recorded. I did find there was about 500 photos taken from that night, and the guy was selling it on eBay. I let the lawyers know about that's something that they should buy, that should be in the vault, that some stuff like that shouldn't be out. I don't know if they did a takedown. I don't know if there's a purchase, but that's another thing, is that know a lot of people that have stuff, and I find stuff. Like, I would like to have a lot of things that ended up in other people's hands And living here in LA, it happened a lot. In other places, getting that stuff back to Paisley, that'd be something else that I would like to do, and knowing it, because I found stuff over the years that was in his possession. We'd have like a Playboy coin from the Playboy Mansion that was given to Prince that ended up in my possession, along with the Prince button from the Dirty Mind tour. It's just crazy. But some of these things that I even have, I'm waiting to put back into Paisley, and there's been some test pressings, and I'm waiting to the changes to happen to turn that over. That a fan sent me. I've already signed the agreement to turn it over. I'm just waiting for things to be put in place. So I appreciate that person. Love that all of us are still trying to get all the boots. And remember that. Don't get upset when bootleg recordings are released as official releases, like you already have that. I'll say this. I was pissed about Piano and Microphone 83 because it shouldn't have been the first posthumous release. And I'm always going to be critical of that. But other stuff, you can't trip on as much. Do I want Syracuse for the third time? No. The sound is better, but there's just other stuff. I kind of look at Syracuse as a bonus release because that didn't originally fall underneath the Sony umbrella. So they need a good solid script, the best casting too. We'll see what the future holds with that. I don't know why Quest Audio and everything. I'm sure people were giving Quest stuff over the years. Is all I can say. You get Chris Moon or Pepe on the show. We almost had Chris on before, and then Vakari. We talked to them a few times, and we just couldn't get the times work. But yes, would love to do that. If I am going to be, hopefully, positively involved, I may not be able to do shows like this, but I'll make sure that you guys have something. Just like make sure to check out Clubhouse this Sunday because Rosie Gaines' daughter is going to be on there. Prince 365 celebration for that one. But there's just other things to be done. Chris to be interesting to have on. I know Pepe has done other shows. Vakari hasn't. Owen Husney put me in touch with him a while ago. Is they concerned with flooding the market with releases? I don't think that's it. It also, like I said, the Netflix thing really puts a spare in the works because remember, you have Warner Brothers having some stuff, and then you have Sony having the other. Then you have Netflix in the middle with exclusive visuals and rights of certain things. It's like three people. It's tough. And that's why I kind of like want to know, why was it Taylor Swift was able to re-record her masters and put everything out on the new label? Why is everything still having to be with Warner Brothers? I don't know the 2014 contract, but you would think it'd only be what they already released, and the unreleased stuff would go to Sony, whether it's from 82 or 2012, you know? So that's what it comes down to. So, see Netflix drama, 7 seasons. What's going on, Lenny? LV in the house. I would never, easier for me to forward on to other people. So, for example, Eric Leeds mentioned the Sign of the Times podcast. He did 200 plus songs with Prince. The 8% were never released. Excuse me. Already come to terms knowing I'll never hear everything. Yeah, you're not going to hear everything. And you don't want to put everything out at once, then they can't make other ways of money. As someone brought up before, what happens when there's everything that we want? I think there's going to be some stuff we're not even aware that we want. There was a documentary that was being shot for A&E in 2001, not the Kevin Smith one, but the Hit and Run tour before the celebration. There was footage being shot for that for A&E. So that's probably in the vault. He probably purchased the TV rights back to that, just like Rock and Rio and some other things over time. So what is Rosie's status? What's wrong with her? It's her diabetes, her health. Like, you know, Charles Spicer said he'd love to get Rosie back at Paisley, and he's right. You know, the way the crowd reacted to Rosie was amazing. We got her to get her health in check. The last time that I saw Rosie live was in 2001 in the Bay Area think the place is called the Oracle Arena now. Maybe it's not called Oracle anymore. But she did sound check there and was brought on stage. Like, we love Rosie. And one day I hope you guys get to hear all the cymbal demos with her on it and how she'd make tracks like Sacrifice of Victory even better. So that'd be pretty awesome. I just wish they would have released the 84 birthday show, video and CD with Syracuse. Again, Netflix, that's something that isn't circulating, so maybe something that they have even like a 5-second clip on. How the deals work with live performances. It makes it harder. They have to get approval from Netflix. So that's what it comes down to with those things. Damn, like I'm gonna have to like retitle this show because this doesn't talk about 777 at all. Let me try to get that in real quick, and then we'll just revisit that another time to do a show. It was so crazy hot. Really wasn't wanting to let the Prince Cap know that I was in town. People were already camping out the night before outside of First Avenue for the show. That was the last show added. That was the one that we were worried about not being able to get tickets to. It was so freaking hot. Even at like 2 o'clock in the morning, there was like people like walking by like, I don't know why you guys are sleeping outside. He ain't even that good. They're wrong. But it was just crazy hot. And then it's like, thank God the sound check at Macy's was taking so long and he wasn't liking the sound, because as soon as we got our tickets for the First Avenue show, we booked over to Macy's. So everything kind of, because the timing wasn't going to match up. But the Macy's show was cool. Target Center, all right. You got Wendy up in there. First Avenue, come on, man. And he was going to do an even longer set at First Avenue. But let me tell you, it was so freaking hot and so freaking sweaty. It's like after you took a shower, you still felt, and you put on deodorant, you still felt like you needed more. Because as soon as you hit that heat again, it's, and my hair would do like, puff status. You couldn't even wear a hat because then you'd be sweating even more. So it's just crazy. But we need to revisit that more. But if 777 was filmed, I know shots were taken by Sam Jennings. I don't know about film. If it was, it would be one camera. So it wasn't multiple for that. And that ended up being his last show. And again, that show was originally supposed to be at Paisley Park. That's why the wristbands say Paisley Park 777. There was just certain stuff that supposedly wasn't ready at Paisley, and I'm told that wasn't true, meaning that stuff would have been ready, but then he switched it to First Avenue. So if Netflix has that much power, hopefully the estate got what? But yeah, when you sign exclusive rights, let me just say this. Kanye got $30 million for his camcorder footage. It's not what the estate got. And again, until that comes out, they have exclusive rights. There should have been, as I said, a no compete clause. There should have been something in that has it be released sooner. But you had to change a director. You had COVID. You had all these different things happen. But they're not getting any more extensions from what it looks like in court documents and whatnot. Wait about an hour for the Target Show Center. I sweated out my clothes waiting for the show to start at Target Center. Like, let me tell you something, because they all gave us like small bottles of the perfume outside of Target Center when you were leaving. I don't know. Some of us maybe should have been spraying that because we were funky. And then we get to First Avenue and we're packed like sardines. It was just absolutely insane. But we're like, there's Sheila on stage. And like sometimes they're like, wait, was she there? And that's what I mean by 3 shows, everything blurring into it. And then, but Prince doing Controversy. Love Changes. Shelby and Prince knocked out of the park that night. Amazing sound. How many times did he do Target? That's something to check into. I know that 97 it was a few times, and then 2001 he did the Excel Center. And in 2007 he did it again. It's a few times. I don't think it was only once in 97, but it may have been. Because even LA, we only got Hollywood Bowl, and then he went to Irvine Meadows. But who does 3 shows in a day? And that was like an experiment, because like later on, in 2009, he did 3 shows out here in LA. We got like a regular show, then you got a rock show at the Conga Room, regular show at Nokia Theater, and that's no longer called that, Conga Room. Then Club Nokia got like a crazy show that ended up like being some of what he would use in Montreux, and some of that stuff he still hasn't performed. And to see like their first performance of When I Lay My Hands on You, and then When the Lights Go Down, it was just different stuff. And then he was trying to do that in 2013. It'd be like the same show 3 times, and I'd hear some of the recordings. By the 3rd time, his voice was shot. But he was trying to get that 3 million a night. And, it'd always be whenever Madonna was touring and she would raise her prices, and Prince would be like, what the hell? Like, I'm better than Madonna. No disrespect, but, look, Prince would always make rivalries or be competitive. That's where you get this George Michael ain't crap comment or whatever. He's being playful. There's respect, but it just goes into it. And I think that Prince and George had a lot of respect for each other, but I can imagine Prince saying that. It's just one of those things. But 3 shows, and he was trying to do it a lot, but it was trying to find a way to maximize his money, especially when the Musicology tour, he's only getting $500,000 a night. And that's why he was doing 5 shows a week, because you do 2 shows, it's $1 million. You're doing all these things, and that's his take home. We're going to be wrapping up just because, give me a moment. Let me see here. Yeah, so my ride hasn't left yet. I'm going to a friend's birthday. We'll need to switch shirts because it's like just under 100 here today, and I'm probably already sweating this out. We don't need to see sweat marks, so hopefully no one said that if there is any. Has anyone besides Morris Hayes ever heard those Nocturnal Release Purporting Era tracks? I'm sure Revolution people have. Like that thing of Power Fantastic on Sign of the Times set. Probably amazing. And I guarantee you there's probably like Power Fantastic like 10 or 12 times. Because remember some of these rehearsals and some of the sound checks that we shouldn't be hearing but are out there, where he's doing the ladder multiple times or just doing different things. There's a market for that. We got to figure out ways to do it, because I think you guys want all those different versions. It could be limited release like a record store day, but not to where you guys are having to wait in a line for it. It's just a limited amount made, so it puts it back in print. So thank you, Ron. Just trying to clarify, trying to get stuff right. I sometimes feel like a broken record on stuff over the years, but that's what goes on to, like, been doing this for a long time. I've always enjoyed doing it. It was just always to promote Prince and help him out when I first was doing it, starting in like 98. I was like, damn, they're suing all these websites. I just got a computer. What the hell? And then, they didn't say anything about an email list. And then that's how it kind of like started. And then Peace and MPG Online, Ltd.com reached out to me, and there was some other stuff before. And then the question of the week thing where, he would only answer like favorite food, Maite, or, when are you going to release a gospel album? I did. It's called Love Sexy. And then my question got like a paragraph and a half, and people are like, what the hell, dude? How'd you get him to talk? I'm like, just asked a question. But I always wondered why he took a liking to J7 so quickly. And I told this story before. It was when I'm reading Owen's book about how Prince and Andre, back then, like if you had like a large afro, they call it the J5. Prince and Andre thought that their afros were a lot bigger than a J5, so they called their afros a J7. So I always wonder, because people are like, why did he take a liking to immediately? I'm like, I don't know about that, because there's other people in place, but that's kind of like cool. But I always wanted to know what did it. And this is before Funkenberry. There was other stuff, and Sam Jennings was running things. Chad with Berlin as well. They always did a good job. I wasn't trying to do anything but help. I would like hit up people on AOL Messenger 2001, 2002, like, hey, I see you're a Prince fan. Are you part of the music club? They're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh, like it's a Prince site. You can download new stuff. They're like, yeah, right, whatever. And then 2 or 3 days later, the person would be like, hey, so I went to that site and you're right. And I joined. So I was trying to do it. Like, again, there's just sometimes other stuff like you people get on people for the estate not promoting this, not promoting that, whatever. Like, look, back then Prince wasn't into promotion, so it was up to us fans. Like, we want to help, we want to do stuff, we want the younger generation to be involved, we want there to be new fans. Like I said, whether they're 50 or 5, everything in between. Screw. Let's get the Glam Slam Grannies of Hot Pants on. Let's get it to 95 to 5, 105 to 5. Let's get that stuff. So finally saw Prince training a couple of times on Twitter instead of Stevie Nicks scored. See, there you go. You guys are the man, the women, all this stuff. You guys are thebomb.com. So give me a moment here. Sorry, guys. Because I don't know if I need to wrap up or whatever. Sorry for the silence. But yeah, those are things that are going on. And while we wrap up, we'll do this unless we have like a super interesting question. I appreciate no trolls this time. You have to understand that sometimes people go back and watch these shows. They look for your suggestions and other things. So it's just important not to have foolishness going on, because they are looking for ideas. They are wanting you guys to be involved. And that's what it comes down to, So when other people are being foolish, it distracts. And I don't want that. It just becomes frustrating because they're making it about themselves when we are trying to be together and trying to make things happen. Still plan on doing a show a week, trying to do 2 shows a week. I've just been so enamored with the old video footage and trying to learn stuff and editing software, and being frustrated that you'll have timings on iMovie on the Mac, but not on the iPad. It would make it easier if there was timings, because it's easier on the iPad to be doing the editing. Wonderland said this: I didn't have a computer then and used my friends when I stayed at her house. I chatted under Miss Fabani 77. Remember J7 because I called my friend's sister J9. Her name was Janine. There you go. Like, I remember when I didn't have a computer, or when I did have a computer, I'd be out. And sometimes Love for Another would be updated, and then the stuff would be like taken down. It'd be like a tweet, I'll delete. And so when we were out at a coffee shop and they had internet, like I pay like the $1 to see if there's any updates on loveforanother.com. Now we have like our phones with us all the time. Sometimes it distracts us. Prince was in the chats, the AOL chat room, the Paisley Park room, the Holy River chat, I believe, as well, the MPGMC chat. So Prince, I'm interested in. Feel honored. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oshun, please say I'm saying it right. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to promote, just like what I was told in like junior high and high school, like you should be promoting him, you should be doing this stuff, because I'd have ideas that they never used, and people would be like, damn, I may not be in a Prince that much, but that's a really good idea. And there's just other ideas to have. I get like a bunch of Japanese releases over the years and other stuff that I feel like would be totally up the alley for Prince fans. And just try to pay attention to stuff, even though I'm not like a big BTS person. You have to see what they're doing and just other stuff. You have to pay attention to what's hot. That's what it comes down to. Last question for your next live feed: are we allowed to discuss bootlegs? You can. They came after me in 2017, and I thought that I was going to be involved then. So I was trying to show that I can play ball until I'm being told not to do the shows anymore or whatnot. So you guys are awesome. But thank you for your comments. not saying I am, but nothing without you guys. That's why, like, look, there'll be times when I'm pumpkined out. Understand it's not you, it's me. But I'm so appreciative to Prince. I'm appreciative to you guys because without both of you, there wouldn't be me. And I'm just trying to help out. And George Lynn sometimes will call Prince like that positive nuisance. I've always felt over the past 30 years, I've been that positive nuisance. Sometimes I think the estate thinks I'm just a nuisance, but I try to be that positive nuisance. I'm not criticizing to be a dick. And I've said it before. You're never as good as people say you are, but you don't suck as much as people say you do. Got to be level-headed and take constructive criticism. Like if I do get involved, and I want to be, and there's going to be criticism about me, you got to push ahead and do what's right. But you also have to listen to people. I know some people feel a certain way about me. Let them. People would be like, why you let people talk mess about you on the Oregon housequake? Like in 2007, I'm sure they're still doing it now. I'm all like, it's when they stop talking about you need to worry. Like, let them do it. People don't know me, but you got to let them talk. You can't shut down everything. And when you see people like Doja Cat or whatever, and they're not liking the criticism online, you feel bad for them. I think the Oregon housequake a decade ago were making me stronger to when these social media people would come after me to just ignore it, that you don't need to respond. Don't allow that negative energy into your home. Let them say what they need to say. You can just ignore it. Do not respond. If it's something that's being constructive criticism or whatnot, it's different. But sometimes people like to complain. And as Prince said on New Power Soul, what good is time if you take up every day to complain? That's why through the worst of things, try to see the best. And I know that the past few years have been extremely hard for everyone. You know, everyone. We're all in this together. It's been tough. Try to look on the bright side. Try to reach out to people when you're struggling. Thing that I've had to learn. I hated asking for help. And when people would give me help, I would like ignore them or whatever. Allow it. It's a thing of growing up. That's why, I always appreciate donations because it helps for the shows and other stuff that I want to do. I've had Owen on before. We did like a 2-part interview. We did it when it was audio. So there is shows. May have to go back and put some video to that for you guys, but it is on there, and it's a really great interview that Owen did. We talked for about 4 hours, but I think only 3 hours made it to broadcast. So last question, next slide, blah, blah, blah. But yes, but I've had Owen on before. I like to get Joffrey ballet music. See, that's out there too. Truth isn't being a dick. I ain't going on or like 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they say negative stuff about me. I'm sure that much hasn't changed. I'll be surprised the day they're like, oh, Doc does this or whatever. J7, they gave a lot of love, but it was the same person. And Ron is exactly right. But check on people. I do it all the time. I've been really slammed lately because doing a lot of stuff. I move silently. There is certain stuff publicly, but I'm doing a lot. But it's what's needed, and hopefully a lot of video footage is going to be hitting you guys that I have. What is Paul Pierce's relation with the Revolution? I asked because the dude is funky and can really capture Prince's sound. Just wanted to never front the band when they reunited after his passing. I don't think they thought of that. You did have Andre for a bit. Maybe someone can like screenshot this and send it to Paul. Sometimes Paul will visit the show, but it's a good question to ask him if he's thought about it, if he'd want to do it. Or sometimes it comes down to money. That's what it comes down to. I think the art should be shut down arrogant. Some people think I'm arrogant, and that's not the case. It just comes off that way. Like, I'm going to be at a party for the first time since Celebration tonight. I'm going to be a little bit nervous. It's going to be a little bit of stuff. So you're probably going to see me not maybe against the wall, but I'm going to be trying, to be chill, try to act like I belong. When you're doing that, again, it's shyness, but it comes off as arrogance because that's a thing that is the same trait. And I said it before, shyness is mistaken for arrogance a lot. Praying for Triple Show family, Revolution, Wendy and Lisa. From your lips to the Melvoin's ears, right? So I don't think the person has left yet that's going to be giving me the ride. But I will be, like I said, changing shirts. I don't know if I should keep the glasses. We'll see. And because I have these. See, I have the white ones. And I have like a few different pairs, different colors, even like some blue ones. I wore this for the mural thing as well. I try to be fashionable, try to work out hard because I feel like I'm representing Prince or whatnot. And the other people like, look, you see Londell in this suit, you see Charles in this suit. That's what I'm trying to do. If they bring it, I got to bring it. If I'm going to dress down, it's going to be an Ali thing. We got a new Ali tank top. But game recognizes game. That's why Ali and Prince respected each other so much. And Ali was someone that Prince looked up to. And he would talk about Cassius Clay and Ali during the name change that he was going through in 93. So keep the clear glasses. We'll see. All right, you guys, I always appreciate, like, damn, like the numbers are still decent. Like, I love you guys. I just want you guys to know it. And I'm really hoping that the future, give me a minute. So the future happens for all these things. Front row tickets, thanks to MPG Music Club. Those pre-sale tickets helped out a lot. Someone sent me that message. C. Curry. No after show tonight because the friend's going to be picking me up. I'm surprised you guys, even though we don't talk, like we have a show about nothing, it's not a show about nothing. That's how sometimes the Spreecast were. And we'd have like 1,000 people in the room. But Prince would promote us. And again, he was producing it. You guys just didn't know. But when he had that Twitter account, like, we'd be blowing up. Doc, who's one guest you'd love to interview out of all people in Prince's career. That's tough. How about I tell you about a person that I want on that may not be involved, but I really respect and I really like their energy and I like what they have to say. Give me a moment here. Because there are other people I want to have on, but I mentioned names before, then all of a sudden, like, other people are trying to get them for their shows. So I can't have that happen. But I'll tell you, and he's going to be on someone else's show. But Celie McGinnis. My birthday is coming up in August. I like to have Celie on my show. I don't think he's on social media. I got to remember, as much as I'm getting slammed to doing stuff 8 to 10 hours a day and watching 10 hours of video footage of other stuff, I like to have Celie on my show. There's a bunch of other people. I reached out to Scott Woods before, wanted to have him on. But yeah, there's certain voices. I haven't interviewed Tommy Barbarelli yet. You guys can put it out there. I'd love to have him on. But Tommy really doesn't do stuff like this a lot. But I really respect Tommy a lot because in an interview after Prince passed, like, he said the truth. Like, there's people saying they were Prince's friend and feels that Prince didn't really have a lot of friends. Like, even when he called me a friend, I even said on the show, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. Like, we haven't checked out a game together. We haven't done the stuff, like, but I'll always be there for Prince. I'm not trying to do it, but I think, like, he allowed you in as much as he wanted you to. And I'm just thankful that there's other people that were closer to Prince than I was. Let's not front on it. But, and remember, for a long time, I was keeping my distance from Prince and be trying to figure out who the heck I was. Then in when I was invited to the studio for the first time, I'm like, no, I'm good. And they're like, what? And I'm like, this whole thing of me and Prince not knowing each other, I'm good with it. And it was like, he wants you at the studio at midnight. I'm like, crap. All right, I'll be there. The first time we met, gave my brother a handshake, hugest smile on his face. And then he was like, thanks for like posting the Andy interviews today. Because I wouldn't have heard that. And just other stuff. Like, it's just nice when you hear from Damaris and others that, you know, he knew that if it were too busy to send me something quick, like Funk will get it and he'll know what to write. So that was cool. Not answering that question. So there, Michael Bland likes to talk. Had Michael Bland 4-hour show. I think there was talk of stuff. We're just gonna have to see how stuff plays out. There's changes happening. What's up, Sean? Doctor, you think we'll ever hear the earlier version of Plectrum Electrum? Eventually. I don't think it's on too many people's radars. But man, what if is the jam? I cannot front that enough. What's up, Vanessa? Ran into some footage of you on the old Spreecast. Like I said, we won't put up the whole full episode, but we will be putting up clips of that stuff. And I have about, let's see, I did almost a show a week from September 2013 till, I think it ended January 2016 before the shows. So I probably have 200 other shows to go through to get that footage from. Like when you see the podcast episodes, it's in the hundreds, but if you counted the Spreecast shows, oh my God, it's absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see what the future holds on stuff. Right now, a lot of stuff is in transition, so stuff that you heard may not be happening. Bring it back. This is the closest we're going to get to like having a Spreecast. I know what you mean about having the old ones. I can't put up the full episodes because there would be audio issues and you guys can't see the chat and other things. But I'll put up definitely the fan interactions and the interviews. But the other stuff, can't get it. Panel microphones show video for sure, 100%. That will be released one day. So, all right. So 49 minutes. So the person won't be here for another 45 minutes because I was set. But yeah, I don't know. Let me go on to this. Sorry, checking in on something. See if something's hitting. Nothing's hitting. Oh. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate you guys. Rosie Gaines would be my dream guest on your show. I would love to have her on as well. We have had her daughter on and Jackie Thompson on and talking about memories. But Rosie is loved and beloved. It can be both. So there you go. There's so much stuff, and we'll see what the future holds. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, Randy St. Nicholas was talking about, you know, because like she'd be videotaping stuff or doing shoots or recording it. So there's a lot of behind the scenes. Love to have Tony M on. Just going through all the footage I've been going through and then trying to do video edits and trying to do other stuff. It's been taking up a bunch of my time. And sometimes that's why I said, like, I appreciate bookers, like say for Fallon or Colbert, because when I'm trying to book people on the show, there's been times where I've had conversations with certain people and how do I put it? You're talking with them days before, you're talking with them the day before, then the morning of, they go silent. And because you were doing all this talking with them, now you have a show coming up that night. Now you got nothing planned. So that's why it's like a booker to handle these things and do it and have it all set out, because it makes my job easier, especially because video editing isn't, it's just crazy to me because I used to do this stuff before when I go to concerts and record stuff, just like that Jesse Johnson footage and other things. but it's just a little bit different of having to edit stuff out and not just post it. But there's a lot of stuff that I have that I want to share with you guys, not only just Spreecast, but that's where the video editing comes on. So Sal, you got to ask him, but we'll see it. I saw the Elvis movie, was nice but unsatisfying. Kept wondering if anyone will ever be able to make us happy with the Prince biopic up. So don't you think probably in a few years Baz is going to try to do a Prince one? I mean, it took Elvis one, almost 50 years. I don't think we're going to be waiting that long for a Prince one. So we will see what the future entails. Within 10 minutes, we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate how many of you guys are still sticking in here, and you guys are probably going to be watching the replay. It's just crazy, the numbers that we get with no guest or minimal promotion. But I just appreciate your guys' support. It just shows that you guys trust me and whatnot. So that's what it comes down to. So Baz could do it. I'm sure Spike Lee would want to crack at it. There's other people. So although I'm pissed at Spike, only for when they were selling the Girl 6 DVD on his website during COVID, I purchased 2, and I paid extra money to have Spike sign it. I was sent 1, and it wasn't signed. And I kept contacting them. Hey, you guys only sent me 1. And I didn't want to have, because I paid through PayPal. I didn't want to do a thing where saying it, but I was kind of upset. You ordered 2, and it was generic. Just had it looked like it was a printed up DVD and then just a cover. But yeah, you order 2, you expect 2. So Spike, you owe me 1 Girl 6 DVD. He don't care. Yeah. Look, eventually someone's going to have to play him, and this is the stuff that goes on. You look what happened with Queen in that movie, and look what's happening with Elvis and introducing a whole different generation. So there you go. Yeah. That's what goes on. What did y'all end up doing? Doing with what? What you talking about, Lenny? So let's see here. It's just crazy. Tripping on stuff. I see the Gold Experience is being sold again. Pre-order this time through the Prince Estate store. I don't know if those ones are going to be numbered. Music Today, like we talked about earlier, said they're going to be numbered. I don't know about that. I don't think they were expecting that either. So that's what it comes down to. But yes. So those are the things that go on. There's so many videos. There's videos for Dance For Me, although Lala Escarza doesn't like that video. There's so much stuff that we're not even aware of that wasn't released as singles or didn't get promotion at the time that I feel can be quite amazing. That's what it comes down to. It's just doing it. And you guys, I'm sure that it's all good. I'm sure that, you guys are going to be involved. I want to be involved. I let it be known. They're probably getting tired of we know, we get it. Stop. Hasn't happened yet. Chill out, bro. But there's other people that need to be involved. She didn't like the Dance For Me video. There has to be, and that's what's funny is the team that I had of 5 people. You didn't just have 2 white guys running the show. It's a problem. There has to be representation going on. Prince is a proud black man. And sometimes I feel that we have other people in there. That's why the symposium that D'Angela does, especially the one for the Symbol album, you guys really need to be checking that out. I'd like to see the views get higher. Because there's certain things that are brought up that from different eyes, maybe peach colored skin or whatnot, they're not getting certain things from a My Name is Prince video that have to deal with the Rodney King situation and whatnot. You're not getting that stuff if you're having someone with peach skin trying to tell you what's up. You need to have those things going on. You need to have more women be involved. Because people would say like, oh my God, Jay, you're the biggest Prince fan. I'm like, no, women are the biggest Prince fans. Because they hear music in a different way when it comes to him, and it touches them differently. That's why Prince would be saying at some of his concerts, ovulation station, or better check your underwear, or leave your sister underwear at home. See, they would hit differently. So we'll have to see about different things. But there needs to be representation, and I want to be involved, and I know that. And it needs to be done because, like, look, I was there before. I want to be there again. Some people that have been in there, you're just not getting it. But we all know what's up and what needs to be done. Bought the gold experience on Record Store Day. Any reason why the ones ordered through the store are numbered? They asked for an amount to be numbered. They asked for a certain amount, probably like 500, and they ended up being numbered. I don't know if that was done on purpose because it sure wasn't advertised. And now it's like we all did it. We're like, oh, we already got, a copy or two. The print store is just selling it just like it did with The Truth. And then people started getting theirs and saying it's numbered. And you're like, wait, what? So the people that did the work, that did out, like the ones that just ordered it, their copy is now worth more. And then the copy overseas being a little bit different. So D'Angela Symposium, if anyone can drop a link to that, since I don't have it on hand. She does the symposiums. They did Dirty Mind. They did Batman. They're always incredible. Always have women involved, I think. 100%. I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone. I want the panels that are done at Paisley, whenever they do stuff, it should always be women. They're doing the interviews. As he said, they're better listeners, just other stuff. I just feel you need that touch. And sometimes I feel when it comes to a woman doing interviews, some of the best, you have Barbara Walters, you had Oprah. They let stuff breathe. They don't talk over the other person. Those things are important. And I want there to be more involvement. People of color are huge, and women especially. And that's what it comes down to. So the newer ones aren't numbered. I don't know at the print store if they're going to be numbered or not. I would imagine they're not, but I'm making an assumption here. So panels definitely need diversity. There's just so much more that needs to be done. You got to get more than one side of the story. That's what it comes down to. Print himself always have women as bosses, push them to be leaders. Look at Jackie Thompson. You look at even later, Julia Ramadan, and why am I forgetting her name right now? Crystal. All these people. So he was doing it, and it's just super important, and it's just super important as well. So that's what it comes down to when it comes to things, for sure. All right, you guys. Last minute here. Thank you guys so much. We'll always have more to talk about, and as things get closer, obviously, now we can start asking for your ideas again and making sure that you're heard. And we know what the future needs. Hopefully it needs me as well. Like I said, want to be part of it, want to do stuff, and we'll get the things going. Appreciate you guys staying around with me, keeping me company. I hope you guys have really great weekend. Check up on people. Practice true love for another, not just saying it. So it's all got to be about. All right. Until next time, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next week. Keep it funky. Thank you, Prince. Thank you. Much love, everyone.